What's up, y'all? It's Tommy here. I'm actually out here in Casablanca, Morocco, so I thought I'd shoot a quick video talking about the Amex Gold Card. So I'm currently, you probably see behind me, I'm out in I have like a little private patio kind of area. My apartment's back this way, but I wanted to touch on the Amex Gold Card and whether it's even worth the $250 annual fee that you'll pay with this card. Well, I figured people always ask that question. Well, as someone who's had this card for about a year and a half, maybe close to 2 years now with this card, I thought I'd break down some of the top benefits and whether this card could be beneficial for you. So that's what interests you. Be sure you stay tuned. Okay, so in this video, I put a few notes here. I want to break down why this is my daily card, as well as the Chase Sapphire Preferred. Those are pretty much the two cards I always carry. I'll whip out the Chase Sapphire Preferred cards. You can see pretty much these two, right? These are like essentially my daily carry cards. I take them pretty much everywhere. Even when I'm traveling overseas, I carry these with me as well. Even with the $250 annual fee, I noted just a few things that make this card beneficial, and I think that you're going to find value in them as well. There's also a few benefits. These are benefits I'm touching on that can help you negate the annual fee. Okay, so a few things, if they apply to you, even better. And if not, if maybe you have expenses in one direction, you can shift your expenses and be able to make this card make sense, then it's well worth it. So point number one is going to be the $120 a year in Uber Cash. So with this card, you get Uber Cash credits it's broken down into $10 a month. And basically what they do is you link your card to your Uber account, and it allows you to be able to, you'll see a credit in there every single month. At the beginning of the month, at the first of the month, you'll see a credit for $10. Now me, I don't use it for Uber necessarily. I use it for Uber Eats. And what I love about that is I'm already going out to restaurants. So now instead of me like going out to random restaurants, what I'll do is on a day where I would go out and go get food, I'll just use this Uber Cash credit and just try different restaurants that are in my local area. So this card works great for that. And by you using this, if you're already gonna go get food or you go out to eat often, you shifting and actually using Uber Eats, you're not able to get essentially a free $10, right? Or at least you're able to subsidize whatever you're gonna get with $10. Okay, subsidize it by $10. So I think that's really dope, and that comes out to $120 a year. Another thing they have is a $120 dining credit. Now this is broken down again into $10 per month. It works a little differently. It's not like they don't immediately put the credit into your account. The way it works is they'll basically, when you use your card at one of the restaurants, which I'm gonna list here, then they end up crediting you back $10 once you go to one of those restaurants, okay? So the restaurants included are Grubhub, which includes Seamless, Cheesecake Factory, Goldbelly, Wine.com, Milk Bar, and select Shake Shack locations, okay? Now for me, I find the most value in Grubhub, and basically what I do is I do the same thing I was doing with Uber Eats. I find one time per month where I go try out a different restaurant in my local area that's on Grubhub. I actually found a really dope, sort of like a Subway, where they make like a restaurant where I don't know if you call it, a restaurant where they make subs, and they're really dope. I wouldn't have found them if it wasn't for Grubhub. So that's what I love doing. That way I can find new places to go and things like that. Now, just those two credits alone will give you $240 if you're maximizing those credits, which already that leaves you $10 for the annual fee. Now, another big thing about this card that makes it a game changer is you get 4x points. So you get 4 points per dollar spent on dining at restaurants. If you're going to restaurants to get food, or maybe you're going out with friends to get drinks, whatever the case may be, you can get 4x points. And also at US supermarkets, but it's select supermarkets. So for example, I go shopping at a neighborhood Walmart and I get 4x points. But if I go to the super center, like the big Walmarts, you won't get the points. They want to make sure that you're spending it on like actual groceries, so they minimized it to just the neighborhood Walmart, which for me is perfect. I just go to a neighborhood Walmart, which is closer to my house anyways, and I'm able to get the 4x points on all my groceries. Now, just looking at this one category alone, the 4x points, I wanted to look and kind of get an idea of what would be like a break-even point. So what you can do is, if you're valuing the Amex membership rewards points at 2 cents per point, okay, which I think is really modest, and I'll give you an example that shows that how modest it is. You would basically need 12,500 points, and once you got to 12,500 points, that would mean that you have enough points to pretty much say you've broken even on that card for the year. Now, that means that you would need to spend $3,125 a year, or roughly $260 a month on groceries and restaurants. which is quite doable, especially the way prices are currently in the States. Again, this is not mentioning the other credits I talked about. This is just specifically if you weren't going to take advantage of the other credits, the dining credit and the Uber cash credit, and you're just looking at how you can make your money back just by doing grocery shopping that everyone's already doing. That's what I love about this card. I want to give you guys an example of a recent, you might hear birds flapping. Like I said, I'm on my patio, right? I want to give you one recent example that I did to buy a first class ticket, right? A first class flight ticket to South Africa. It's going to be a flight from Paris down to Cape Town. The original price of the ticket was $4,005. That's how much it would have cost if I would have paid cash for this ticket. What I ended up paying was $345 and 61,000 points. Now, the great thing about it is, one of the reasons why I took advantage of this is at the time, there was a bonus offer of if I transferred, however many points I transferred, they would give me a bonus 30%. So if I transferred 10,000 points, they would give me 13,000 points on the other side. So I transferred my points over to Virgin Atlantic, and I only needed to transfer 47,000 points, and then they turned it into a little more than 61,000 points. And so actual ticket was a little over 4,000. So when you do the math, I spent, like, my points came out to a valuation of 8 cents per, almost 8 cents per point. The real amount was like 7.79 cents per point, but that goes to show you, right? I just gave you just the math I did previously in terms of how much you would have to buy in terms of groceries was based off of if your membership rewards points were worth 2 cents per point. But you can get, I gave you an example of how I got the value to 8 cents. So to me, this card has been a complete no-brainer. And guys, I didn't even touch on the Amex offers. There's a section on the app or even on the website where they have American Express offers that they give for your card, where you can get, for example, right now I have Disney Plus. Pretty much, I think I pay for Disney Plus, I pay like 50 cents a month for 6 months and stuff like that, right? I don't really count those if it's stuff that I wasn't gonna do previously. Like, I don't really watch Disney Plus, so I'll probably end up canceling it afterwards once the offer's done. But I have gotten offers. For example, I got one where it was spend $200 and then I think it was spend $300, get $100 back for Facebook ads, meta ads as they call it now. I do advertising already, so it worked out perfectly, and it's basically like I just got a free $100 to kind of subsidize the card. So worked out perfectly. Now every once in a while I see pretty decent offers. I don't count those towards offsetting the annual fee unless it was something that I was actually gonna do anyways, okay? So if maybe you already have a certain expense and you see, let's say, like, you know that you go to a specific clothing store or something and you see that they have an offer for it, I would count that towards it. But if you don't ever go to that clothing store and you're just going to it because you see an Amex offer, then I probably wouldn't count that, right? So that's kind of how I look at it on my end. Yeah, that's the gist of it, guys. This card has been extremely valuable for me. It's one of the best cards that I've had so far. So I would definitely, if it makes sense for you, I definitely recommend you check it out. I'll link to it down below. And also check out, I shot another Amex Gold Card progress video where I kind of mentioned how I managed to recoup my money for my first year. I'll link to it down below. Be sure that you check that out as well. Alrighty. So I appreciate you guys watching. Be sure that you hit that subscribe button so you don't miss any of my next videos. And I will see you in the next one. Peace.